on today, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today's video is going to be really special as I've got a lot of stuff to talk about and a lot of stuff to do. So basically today's been kind of a mess. I've been doing a lot of schoolwork, catching up on stuff that I missed last week and I've missed throughout the semester. I'm taking care of that so I can, be caught up in all my classes. But I've got something huge to talk about with the sport track. So a lot of you guys have been paying attention to the channel. I know we just hit 200 subscribers, so some of you guys may be thinking, what the heck is this? Well, this is my car, 2003 Sport Trac XLS. It's got all these little mods here and there, cold air intake, all the aesthetic stuff you see, and an exhaust. But what we're talking about today isn't to do with any of those specific stuff, but about the overall car itself. So to start with that, we're gonna do a little bit of stuff here to put, and speaking of mods, actually, hold on, I'm gonna change my whole video up a little bit here, but we're gonna be starting off by reinstalling something that I had on here. It was a ST Ford Focus badge kind of thing, and it hooked up right in here on these two slots in the grill, and it's actually starting to rain, so that kind of sucks. But I'm gonna reinstall that as people have been actually asking me where it's been, so I'm gonna go ahead and go pick it up out of the garage and reinstall it. Alright guys, so upon popular request, the front ST badge is back on. So basically the reason it's been off this entire time since I had the grill redone was, if you remember during that video, I took the bolt out of the badge because it actually bolts into the grill. You guys can't really see it anymore, but there's some plates and a couple of nuts behind this. And that's how I got screwed on. And the bolts were rusted out really bad, so I wire brushed them in that video, and then I handed them over to my dad, who painted them just over this past weekend. We popped it back in. Now the next thing I need to take care of is to undo this part of the bumper and pop the rest of this grill in, because this bothered me since we did it, because it was at night when we put this back in, so obviously it didn't get put in all the way. So I'm not filming a lot of this because I went through the processes in those videos, so go check out the video I did on where I put this badge on the first time. There we go, there's my finger. And then there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the grill, and then I'm going to get into the main topic of today's video. Alright guys, so we're all done. I fixed the grill for the most part. It still looks a little off, but I can assure you it's clipped in properly. So now we've got the completely rejuvenated front end with the black grill and the ST badge being mostly cleaned up and put back in. So now let's get into the main topic of today's video. Now if you follow me on Twitter, which I recommend you do, it'll be in the description below, you guys will get behind the scenes access to a lot of my videos. And one of the things I mentioned was I had a big announcement to make. So basically my mom kind of spilled the beans on a plan that her and my dad had come up with for about a few months now, involving both the Explorer, which is my main vehicle, and my former car, which has gotten quite a lot of attention recently, the Kia Spectra. So both of these cars are due for something huge, but I'm not focusing on that car because it's not the main focus of the channel anymore. That was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And okay, I was about to say speaking of my mom, but that's not her. But anyway, we're back onto this guy again. So the main topic of today's video, my big announcement, is this truck's getting completely revamped, and I cannot wait. So basically, when I say revamped, I don't mean anything under the hood. The 4-liter is staying in. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting me to talk about a possible supercharger build, as I've been tossing that idea around for months, and I think I'm gonna go ahead with it, but I don't think it's a good place to go right now, because the 4-liter, like I said, it's completely unknown what condition it's in. The previous owner, like I said, didn't inform me much about the truck when I got it, so I don't know how great of a condition the motor's running right now. So I was planning on getting it at my last oil change, getting stuff sent to a lab and have it tested to see if they could find out any sort of damage from the internals, but I never got around to that. But we're talking about aesthetics here. So a lot of you guys know this truck has 14-year-old paint, is covered in blemishes, scratches, rock chips, rust, as you can see here, and on the door jamb, which I'll go over more in detail on later. Huge gashes on the front, dents. I mean, this truck is covered in body damage from head to toe because it was at one point a work truck. The previous owner used this on gravel yards. It's been nearly broken into. I mean, this truck's had a bit of a hard life. So my parents decided, my mom spilled the beans on it. My parents are actually getting both the Spectra and the Sport Trac painted, and it's just it's crazy. Now this isn't happening like within the next few weeks. This will be something that happens over time, within the next few months to possibly a year at latest. But basically what's going to happen is both of these cars are going to be stripped down to bare metal, completely primered, and sent to a paint shop. Now I originally was going to say give me some color options down below for what I could paint the truck, because I think that it'd be cool to have a unique color for the truck. But I'm gonna stick with the Ultra Blue. Ultra Blue is a rather hard to find color on these trucks. It's hard for me to, I've only seen one or two that are this color out in this area. There's actually one just down the street that's this color. But it's really hard to find these in this color. It's a really hard to find color, this blue. So we're keeping the blue, but what's gonna happen is it's gonna get a completely fresh coat. So you see here, all this stuff built up, and here's gonna go. The sunspots here in the right here inside the hood are gonna go. You know, all the damage, the sun damage and all that stuff is gonna go bye-bye. And you know, all this random scratches and stuff that this truck has, because it's covered in them. I mean, look at it. But anyway, all this is gonna go, and it's gonna be completely redone in this same blue. It's gonna be completely transformed. All the damage is gonna be filled up, all the scratches. This one right here was on the truck when I got it, of course, much like all the other ones were. This is gonna be redone and refilled. The dent on the tailgate, a lot of you guys have noticed that, is gonna be repaired. I mean, this truck is gonna look completely brand new at the end of it. Now, keeping that in mind, some of the body panels are not going to be touched. For example, the headlights are not going to be removed or replaced at all. I will keep this headlight housing set in. I do plan on going projector eventually, but that's another video on its own. The badge and the grill, of course, can be left alone. But the big thing is, not these guys. I mentioned in a few videos back when I did the Project Explorer series that I wanted to get these painted. I wanted to get them color matched. Well, after listening to you guys and thinking about it, I'm going to go all black on these. These are going to become black. I'm not keeping the gray, and finding black bumpers on a sport track is rare. No one's done it except for the guys who have color match. So that's kind of my plan with that. The bumpers are my idea mainly. I have to talk my parents over on that because I believe their focus is mainly the body, which is the blue stuff. Now we're moving on to the second phase of what's going on, and that's to the interior. You guys know I have this XLS interior. It's very basic, has rubber floors. Now I've got these seat covers on. I've had these on since I got my wheels put on, and I've got this really old faded steering wheel and a ball joint that needs to be repaired. This interior is going to be completely gutted. We're going to be repairing everything, completely reupholstering my stock seats, the front seats in particular. I've got some ideas planned out that we'll be using to do this. We'll be replacing all of the fabrics and the foam and everything inside, and I'm going to be replacing everything from these down to the springs and getting whole new seats redesigned for this truck. As well as finally repairing my center console because my armrest comes off. But anyway, what's going to happen on the inside is we're going to pull the gauge pod off. I'm going to carbon wrap it. The bezel around the radio is going to get carbon wrapped. The seats are going to be bolted out and removed. These will be sent off to an upholstery shop possibly around the same time the truck goes to paint. And we'll have completely new seats. I've been tossing around a few designs. I'm going to have to actually mock one up and show it to my parents because I wanted to get their opinion on it. But it's an epic idea I've got that'll look really nice. I originally was going to get racing seats, but I think instead I'm just going to get these seats rebuilt with thicker bolstering on the outside so I'm hugged in the seat, because I don't like moving around a lot. It's just not me. Of course, body roll doesn't help with that. Then eventually, I think I'm probably going to swap this steering wheel out and get a Cobra Terminator wheel, but if not, I'll probably just refurbish this one and have it redone as well alongside the other stuff. Basically that's gonna be it. I believe the headliner may even get replaced. The headliner isn't in great shape, as you guys can see with that bubble there and all the weird markings and stuff it's got. So this interior is going to become completely torn apart in the next few months, and this truck's going to go to paint, get cleaned up, made all nice. The back seats as well. The back seats are going to become completely reupholstered. These barely ever get used, so they're not entirely that bad. Well, they're not barely used since I got it. The previous owner of this truck did have a full family in here, so that kind of explains why the back seats are kind of frayed and stuff because of car seats and all that stuff. But everything you see in this interior is going to be removed. The rubber flooring is going to be removed and replaced with carpet all the way around, because this isn't a work truck anymore. It doesn't need to have rubber floors since it's not a work truck anymore. So that's really all I can think of. The last thing to mention about this project is this isn't on the plan books. It's just something I want to do, is get a hatch tonneau cover that stretches across, you know, and then has its own lock. I can pop it and it'll be like a hatch door, like what you see on a hatchback or even SUVs. But yeah, so that's basically everything we got planned. It's going to be a major project coming in the next few months, and we're sending this thing off to paint as soon as we can. We're waiting on my dad's football season to end right now until we can do that, so that's kind of what we have in the plans right now. So both the Spectra and the Sport Trac are going to get painted again, and it's going to be absolutely great. The next thing I want to bring up is rust. So I have a little bit of rust problem with this truck, mainly on the hood and on the door jamb. So if you remember earlier, I mentioned the story about how I had the truck nearly broken into before I bought it. And here is the kind of extent of the damage right here. And there's a pretty nasty chunk of the door seems to be kind of eaten away by rust, thanks to the stupid douchebag that tried breaking into this thing before I got it. Thanks a lot, guy. You're gonna make this harder for me. As well as cracked on the weather stripping. It's very obvious a screwdriver or a crowbar was lunged in here, and it causes quite a bit of road noise or wind noise when I'm going down the road. So this will probably get replaced when we send it to paint. Then of course I'll be using some epoxy, like what was used in Chris Fix's video, to get all this repaired. And I mean, once this is all sanded down, it's not going to be that noticeable, but you know, just to repair the body lines a little bit, make it look factory, we're going to be repairing all this with the epoxies and all that stuff that it needs to get cleaned up. So that's really all I have to say. There's so much stuff going on with this thing in the next few months. I cannot wait to get this thing looking beautiful again. It's going to be a rich blue, and I'm probably going to invest in PPF, because the thing is, with PPF, you're going to keep yourself from getting rock chips and scratches. Since I do daily drive this, it's almost a must to keep this paint in good shape, because I mean, I do want it looking nice. I take it to events all the time. I want it to look immaculate when I take it to events. So people see this thing, they're like, wow, that thing's well kept, instead of looking at it like, oh, it's beat up real bad, like it is right now. We have all the rust and all the damage. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos. Again, thank you for 200 subscribers. I was about to say 200,000. I'd be like, okay, that's a lot. But thank you guys for 200 subscribers again. I hope you guys are excited about this as much as I am, because it's just gonna be one heck of a project coming soon. And only a few of my friends know, so that's gonna be even better. Now everyone knows, and probably surprise a lot of you guys. But like I said, this isn't happening immediately. This will be within the next few months. It's gonna be a long process, as we have to sand this thing down to bare metal. You know, we have to strip the interior. I mean, this thing's gonna be completely gutted, almost race car by the time it goes to paint. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. If you're excited, hit the like button, all that crap, whatever you want to do. Leave some comments if you have any sort of questions or concerns, because I've been meaning to say that in my videos a lot lately, because there are a lot of things that I feel like people want to ask me about or anything like that. So if you have any sort of questions or concerns, please address them in the comments, because I'd love to get back to you guys. I get back to every single comment right now, because the advantage of being a small YouTuber, you can do that, because you don't get a lot of comments to go through. But anyway, guys, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. Take care, guys.
We don't want drama, we just want commas. My team tryna eat, I'm thinking Benihana. Love or hate me, all that shit just made me stronger. We the new school, it's the alma mater. We don't want drama, we don't want drama. We just want the commas, we just want the commas.